Hello, it's Sarah from Hardcover Hearts, and I'm here with a tag video. I know, I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time, and I'm woefully overdue to get some of these out. This is a great tag because it allows me to kind of in the slipstream slip in my Victober TBR, which I'm quite excited for. I'm actually a little giddy for. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the Classics book tag. Originally it was done by It's a Book World. I don't know if they still have a channel. I'll put a link below. Right now it's directing to their blog. You know, it's still their content. So thank you very much for this original tag. And I think I mentioned Juan from Just One Reader tagged me in this. So thank you, Juan. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first is, what is an overhyped classic that you really did not like? Immediately I knew which one I was going to choose. This is Moby Dick by Herman Melville. Call Me Ishmael. I really hate this book. It puts me to sleep. It is like pulling teeth. I had to read it for school, but there was nothing that I found of interest in this book. And I know that people love it. Some people really love the detail, but I just don't care about whaling. I think it's kind of gross, and I just think it's not a book for me. How about I put it that way? So the only reason I actually have this one is because it's one of these penguin drop cap editions, and this was my very first foray into buying specific editions, and it started me off on a dangerous path. But I just find these are just adorable, and even the tops and sides are colored, and I just like them. They make me happy. So that's the only reason it's in this house. Second question is, what is your favorite time period to read about? I think I really like kind of like the modern classics. So very recently I've gotten into Virago. Virago does a bunch of modern classics. And I think this was inspired by a Backlisted podcast. So they talk a lot about modern classics and about that time frame. Here are a few that I have. I have a good collection. And when I was going to London, I was supposed to go to London earlier in the summer, I had plans to go to used bookstores and look for kind of older Virago modern classics. These are kind of reprints with really these lovely covers for their 40th, I think, for their 40th anniversary. So this one is Elizabeth Taylor's A View of the Harbor. This one is Rosamund Lehman's The Weather in the Streets. It's a really nice kind of glittery cover there. And this is The Return of the Soldier by Rebecca West, which I absolutely adored. I devoured this. I thought it was so beautiful. So I really like that era, kind of between the wars kind of era. And I think it's so poignant and so powerful because you've just experienced something horrible, but you can feel something horrible coming too. And I don't know if it's that we know that it's coming, or maybe some things that you can see in the text, or some tension that exists. But I think that looming feeling where people can't really let their guard down, or they're letting their guard down only to have to go through something similar. I don't know, it just always moves me. All right, so number 3, what's your favorite fairy tale? Nope. Nope, I don't like fairy tales. And I don't know what it is, but they creep me out. I don't find them enjoyable. Maybe they're kind of like child horror. Maybe that's why I don't like them. I don't know. I haven't really investigated it this much. I just know that I don't enjoy them. They don't give me any kind of pleasure. They actually make me very uncomfortable. So none of those for me. Number 4, what is the most embarrassing classic that you haven't read yet? So I'm going to admit, I came to classics late. It was only the past few years that I have kind of plucked up the courage to be able to really go into classics with a fervor. And so this is new for me. So I have so many that I have not read, so many that I haven't read. And yeah, so I'm just going to say most of them about that. Okay, and then this is the one where I get to kind of go into my Victober TBR, because it's what are the top 5 classics that you would like to read soon? So Victober is almost upon us, and Victober, if you don't know, I'm ecstatic to let you know about it. It is a month-long reading of Victorian classics that is hosted by Kate Howe, by Kate from Books and Things, and also Lucy the Reader. I'll put links to their channels below. And just fantastic resource of ideas. And they really go all out. They really think about different types of genres, different ways to bring you into the Victorian literature arena. And I think they make it incredibly accessible. So much fun. And they're doing a great job. So let me tell you what I'm going to be reading. So the first thing is me and my very dear friend Leo, who is kind of like my buddy reader extraordinaire, are going to tackle Bleak House together. I'm so excited by this because this is kind of like a Dickens foray into mystery. And, I'm such a mystery fan. I love reading mysteries. So I think this is going to be great. And reading with him is just always a joy. So I'm looking forward to it. And this is a huge undertaking. So let's see. So we'll see if I get to my other ones. Yes, this is 940 pages in this edition. This is the Atlantic Books edition from the UK. I just think it's really nicely bound, a good copy. Then I would really like to read Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. I have this gorgeous, I love these little editions. I just think they're so delightful. These are the Macmillan Collector's Library editions. I think I've shown these before, but they have gorgeous little end papers. A textured cover, gold. I'm not sure if you can see the gold on the spine there. Just really lovely little additions. And they even have one of my favorite things is the blue robin's egg blue ribbon to keep your place. So this is one, Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte. The next thing I want to read is more Elizabeth Gaskell. I'll talk a little bit more about her work a little later on in this video. But this is Cranford, and this feels a little lighter, and I'd like to read this. And these cloth-bound Penguin classics are designed by Corley Bickford Smith. And I followed her on Instagram, and she's just a very interesting graphic artist. And so I just really like her editions here. I have a few of these. Then, let's see, I have a Return of the Native by Thomas Hardy. This is a Folio Society edition. That's just really beautiful. I just love that green with that cover. And it has a map when you open it up. I mean, who doesn't love a map when you open up a book? Another one that I want to get to is I fell in love with Trollope last time, and this is The Warden. This is one that I found in London last time we were there, and again, a map. So Thomas Hardy and Anthony Trollope were great with the maps at the beginning of their books. And then there's going to be a read along of a book, and that book is Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. And this is also a Folio Society edition. Let me see if they have any of the images. Yeah, this is really interesting. They have like these almost pastel-y type of images throughout the book. So, that's kind of ominous. So looking forward to, I think if I think what will probably happen, my prediction is I don't think I'm going to get to all of these. I think what might happen is I'm definitely going to finish Bleak House, and I'm going to try to do Shirley, because those kind of, there's groups and there's reading along. I think I'm going to try The Warden because it's a little smaller, and Cranford. So that's my prediction of what I probably will get to. You'll have to come back and see me during October to see which ones I actually get to. Next up, number 6 is a favorite modern book or series based on a classic. I thought about this a lot, and the only one that I can think of that I would recommend that I really liked, and I know this is controversial because some people did not like it, but I really liked Joe Baker's Longbourn. So I've always been a fan of kind of the under the stairs kind of upstairs downstairs type of story, where we get the servant's perspective. We get those who are maintaining the house and doing the actual work, the working class servant class of a lot of these classics, and that's what Longbourn is. Longbourn is the story of the servants of Pride and Prejudice that live in the Bennet's home. And so it's a really interesting way to look at that story from the people who were observing it, as opposed to who were in it. And I thought it was really good. So that will be my answer for that. Then, what is your favorite movie version of something that's based on a classic? So I just watched it, I think a little while ago. I'd say maybe early in the spring. And this is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Now this one is my grandmother's edition, and the inscription said it was for her birthday on 1917. So how cool is that? I'm gonna have to have it bound because it looks like it's starting to come away from the pages a little bit, but still in pretty good condition, I have to say. So I'm so thrilled to have this. But I thought the movie was really, really well done, and had that exuberance and life and kind of manic energy that happens when a bunch of girls are all in the same house. So I thought it was very good. Next up, what is the worst classic to movie adaptation? So I don't watch a lot of movies, so this one I have to defer. I don't really know. I don't really know that I have one per se that I would say that's from a classic. So I'm have to skip that one. Sorry. And then number 9, favorite editions that you'd like to collect more classics of. I think for me, it's absolutely the Folio Society editions, because I just love them so much, and they just look so good and stay. The quality is really strong. I love the boxes that they come in to help the protection that gives. And I just think that they're just high quality. So I definitely am always on the lookout for Folio Society editions. And then last, what's an underhyped classic that you would recommend? I don't know that it's underhyped. Maybe it is. I don't know. But all I know is I read this last year, and I was blown away. It gobsmacked. I thought it was one of the more superior books that I've read in many, many years. And that is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. So as I said, I have a bias toward working class stories, toward people who are dealing with real life implications of colonialism, of the industrialization period, and so this is exactly that. This is a really fantastic story of a woman who is really kind of in the throes of the precarious nature and mercurial nature of her mother and her father, and has not found a husband for herself that she is interested in, and moves to the north with her family, with her mother and her father, even though she probably should be looking for a husband. And while she's in the north, she sees all sorts of things that are happening under the auspice of industrialization. And so we just learn so much about factory conditions at the time. We learn about through her eyes as someone who has lived in a little bit better conditions and now is kind of a step down, and then even watching people who are struggling even more. I just thought it was fantastic, and some of the best proposal scenes that I've ever seen are in this one, and the ending nailed it, in my humble opinion. So that's it for me. That is my classics book tag plus Victober TBR. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll look forward to talking to you later. Bye.